Yo, what's good, everyone? Sideshow MMA here, and no, your eyes are not deceiving you. One of my eyes is completely fucked right now. I have really bad allergies. Today in this video, we are going to be discussing 70 UFC fighters. I know the title says 100. We're doing 70. 100 is too overpowered. Obviously, 100 people would beat a gorilla. 70 UFC fighters. Who would I pick to beat the gorilla? Who's going to die? Who's going to scare the gorilla? Who's going to go for the eyes? Who's going to be the first to fight? Who's going to hurt the gorilla? And who will kill the gorilla? So we're going to start with Francis Ngannou. He's going to kill the gorilla. Ngannou's a killer. All right? Ngannou is a killer. You know, he hits hard. Ngannou's going to kill the gorilla. Move on. We move on. Right to Syria. Right to Syria right here. He's going to die. And he is going to fight this gorilla for only sacrificial purposes because of that embarrassing performance he had against Joshua Van. Yeah, so he's going to pay for that and he will die. We move on. Kevin Holland, he's dead as well. Kevin Holland, as we know, he doesn't try in fights. The second the gorilla looks at him and Kevin Holland faces adversity, he will quit. He's known for doing that. He's a quitter. He doesn't try. He should be cut from the sport. He's shit at fighting. He would die to the gorilla because he would probably face some adversity, and knowing him, he would quit and then make an excuse and then die. Max Holloway, he's going to hurt the gorilla. All right, yeah, we want Max Holloway to hurt the gorilla. I think Max Holloway would be able to put a good pace on the gorilla. Batter up the gorilla a little bit. Maybe he'd get fucked up. But I think Holloway would put the pace on the gorilla a little bit. And mind you, all these guys are going at once. All 70 of these UFC fighters are charging this gorilla at once. So, yeah. Holloway's gonna hurt the gorilla with his pace, you know? I think that's a good strategy for the human side. Moving on, Ilia Topuria, he is gonna be one of the ones to kill the gorilla. I just think his aura is too much. I think he needs to kill the gorilla. I don't see him fitting. He needs to be there, and he doesn't fit in any other categories. He needs to help kill it, you know? I think that's what he would want to do, too. He chases greatness. He's moving up for a second belt, you know. Well, he vacated, so he's moving up for a second championship. You know, Ilya, he's chasing greatness. He's going to want to kill the gorilla, okay? We move on to Johnny Walker. He's going to die. Johnny Walker will die. I don't think that needs much explanation. We move on. Anthony Smith, dead. He will curl up into a ball and cry and quit. It's Anthony Smith. Lionheart is dead. On to the next fighter, Colby Covington. He will die as well. Man, a lot of deaths. He's dead, dude. Colby, at this point in his career, you know, I feel like he would go in there a little confident and then get fucking destroyed. Moving on, Peter Yan, he is going to help kill the gorilla. We need a guy like Peter Yan in there. A fucking savage like Peter Yan. When the gorilla is, you know, maybe on its way out, Peter Yan's going to go in there and fucking finish the job. You know, he's going to help kill the gorilla. He's going to do this. He's going to do his thing, you know. Peter Yan, he needs to be one of the ones to kill. I'm sorry. He's a fucking savage. He's a beast. He's good at everything. He's a beast. I know he's little. I don't think it'll play much of a factor. These guys are coming in to hurt the gorilla, so the gorilla will already be hurt. So yeah. On to the next fighter, Dricus du Plessis. Ooh. He's going to hurt the gorilla. Yeah. I think I want Dricus to hurt the gorilla. Yeah, I think hurting the gorilla, because the gorilla's not going to know what the fuck is going on. Actually, we're going to put Dricus in first to fight. I want Dricus to charge at that gorilla, and the gorilla's going to be like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And it's going to be effective, and it's going to work on the gorilla, because that's what Dricus does. So I think that's a good method. You know, we're going to have Dricus run in there, do his little blitz, you know, his Audi blitz, and see what happens, all right? See what the gorilla does. Maybe the gorilla fucking wipes him with one punch, you know? Or maybe not. Maybe it throws the gorilla off, and the gorilla starts getting pieced up with 1-2s, and it's confused on what's going on. On to the next fighter. Marvin Vettori is going to be one of the first to fight. He doesn't get... Actually, he's going to hurt the gorilla. He doesn't get knocked out. He doesn't inflict much damage on an opponent, if we're being honest, but he doesn't get chinned. So I don't think the gorilla is going to be able to kill him. I don't. I really, really don't. So, Vettori, he's going to be in there. He's probably going to be severely concussed, but he'll be in there, fighting at least. At the very least. So we need him to hurt the gorilla. That's his goal. All right, Vettori, just fucking hurt him, all right? On to the next one, Joe Pyfer. He's going to be first to fight. As long as the gorilla's not Jack Hermanson, he should be all right. He's got a ton of power. I can see him putting, some solid shots on the gorilla. Okay. On to the next, Volk. I'm sorry. Volk is dead. Alexander Volkanovski will die quickly. I know he's back. I picked him to beat Lopez. People forget. I picked him to beat Lopez, dude. I saw this coming a mile away. I know Volk is really good, but a gorilla would fucking eat him alive. I don't think Volk, at the age he's at, will be able to fight off a gorilla. Not even with the help of 69 other UFC fighters. I think he's dead. On to the next one, Israel Adesanya. He is dead. Adesanya will die. He's too soft, dude. Like, the gorilla's gonna fucking growl at him, and Adesanya's gonna be like, you don't know my story. You don't fucking know my story. So, he's gonna die. He's too soft. He can't handle it. The gorilla fucks him up. I'm sorry. On to the next one, Shamil Gaziev. He will be one of the ones to kill the gorilla. Of course. Is this a fucking question? Shamil Gaziev, of course he's gonna be one of the ones to kill the gorilla. He's a fucking beast, all right? He can't be fucked with. Shamil Gaziev is different. The GOAT. He will be one of the ones to kill the gorilla easily. Moving on, Joaquin Buckley. He'll be one of the first to fight. He's a fucking ball of muscle. He's just going to sprint at the gorilla and try and land some shots, basically. On to the next one, Jan Blachowicz. He's going to be in there to hurt the gorilla. Polish power, legendary Polish power. Don't forget, he'll be in there to hurt the gorilla. I think he'll do a good job, but I could see him dying too. But, his purpose is to hurt the gorilla. Like, right to Syria, his purpose is only to die. Kevin Holland is there to die, Like, Volk's going to try. Izzy might try. Johnny Walker might try. But they're dead, Blachowicz could die, but I think he'll survive, and he'll just hurt the gorilla. Fluffy Hernandez, he's going to hurt the gorilla also. I think this is a good pick for one of the guys to hurt the gorilla. Fluffy Hernandez is a beast. So yeah, definitely can see him hurting the gorilla with all these guys' help as well. Mario Batista, he's dead. He's too soft for this shit. You can't hold a gorilla against the cage, so you're dead. On to the next one, John Jones. He's going for the eyes, of course. You could have guessed it. John Jones, go for the eyes, dude. Do what you do best, you fucking drug cheat, woman-beating piece of shit. Go for the eyes, dude. You cheat, This is what you do. And you're the GOAT, so go for the eyes, John Jones. Do your thing. On to the next one. Leon Rocky Edwards is dead. He's got no heart, man. He's a fucking quitter. So, he's a fucking quitter. So, Edwards is dead. On to the next one. Sergey Pavlovich, he's going to hurt the gorilla, of course. He's a fucking beast. He's going to hurt him. He's going to hurt the gorilla. He might chin the gorilla for a second. He might drop the gorilla, actually. Gorilla pops right back up and gets right back to work. I could see Sergey Pavlovich hurting the gorilla, even though he hasn't been, hurting people at all in his last few fights. Maybe he'll do it for the gorilla. On to the next one. Beneil Dariush is dead. Pretty self-explanatory. It's Beneil. I just think it'd be funny if he died. Next, Michael Chandler. He's gonna be first to fight. He's gonna be first to fight because he's got about a round of fight in him. And in that first round, he's pretty dangerous. So we'll let him run at the gorilla, show us what he's got. In about 5 minutes, he'll be done and he'll probably die. Moving on, Jared Cannonier, the killer gorilla himself. He will be there to hurt the gorilla, I guess. He's powerful. He's old, but, he's unfinishable, as we can see from his fight with Gregory Rodriguez and Caio Baralho. So he's going to be in there to hurt the gorilla. I don't think he'll get fucked up by the gorilla too much. Yeah. On to the next one. Raul Rosas Jr., he will scare the gorilla. The gorilla will run in fear when he sees this hideous, disgusting creation of a human. Yeah, I think this is a great option to scare the gorilla. Raul is hideously ugly, and he's terrifying to look at. So it's a good pick to scare the gorilla. On to the next one, Rebellis de Spain. He's going to be first to fight. We know he's got power. But you better hope that gorilla does not have a takedown threat or he is fucked. But yeah, first to fight, I think he can land some power shots on the gorilla. On to the next one, Roman Kopylov. He will. Oh, where do I want to put Roman Kopylov? I think he could be first to fight Kopylov. I think that's a good place for him. Show us what you got. He's a good kickboxer. Maybe throw some body kicks at the gorilla. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. On to the next one. Josh Van is dead. I'm sorry. I hate to do this. Josh Van is dead. He's dying. I mean, you can't get chinned by Charles Johnson. He got dropped by fucking Edgar Shirez. Dropped by Kevin Borjas. This dude gets dropped in every fight. It sucks, but you can't get dropped at flyweight and knocked out at flyweight like that, dude. I'm sorry. I like Josh Van a lot. He's dying to the gorilla. If a flyweight can put you out, a gorilla would murder you. So he's dead. Peyton Talbot, dead. You can't lose to Ronnie Barcelos. You're dead. And he's not, Peyton Talbot is weak-minded in my opinion. Michael Venom Page, he'll be able to hurt the gorilla, I think. I think that's where I want to put him. But I just think MVP, dude, I just could see him going out there and not doing much. Maybe throwing a flying knee. Like, he's got potential to hurt the gorilla, but will he? I don't know. I don't know if he will. He might. But I like his odds more than not. So I'm going to put him in hurt the gorilla. Moving on, Islam, he is going to help kill the gorilla. Islam Makhachev will help kill the gorilla for sure. I mean, he's got crazy strength. So if it comes down to it and the gorilla's on his back, Islam to get a head and arm choke to finish the gorilla, perfect. That's what we need. Nasruddin Imavov, go for the eyes, brother. Remind him all what you did to Chris Curtis, even though I love Imavov. Get the title shot, brother. You should jump Chimaev. He's going for the eyes, though. That's what he does. He goes for the eyes. Moving on. Tom Aspinall, he's going to help kill the gorilla. Of course, Tom Aspinall is going to help kill the gorilla. He finishes all his opponents in a round of fighting. So what's not to say, I like his odds to do that to a gorilla too, especially if these guys are hurting the gorilla. We got guys like Pavlovich in there, MVP, Jared Cannonier, Blachowicz. I like Aspinall's odds. Moving on. Bilal Muhammad is dead. I think another funny one. That would be funny if he died, and he probably would. Magomed Ankalaev, he's going to help us kill the gorilla. He destroyed Poatan. As I said he would. He'll probably defeat him more dominantly in the rematch. Ankalaev is a fucking beast. He's good at everything. He's going to help kill the gorilla for sure. Moving on. Chito Vera, he's dead somehow. I don't know why. Chito Vera, he just looks like he should die. That sounds fucked up. He looks like he would die to a gorilla, in my opinion. Justin Gaethje, he's going to be first to fight. One of the first ones to fight for sure. Gaethje, show us what you got, dude. Be explosive early and attack the gorilla, man. Fucking try and hurt it, dude. Try and hurt the gorilla. I think Gaethje, if he lands some solid low kicks on the gorilla won't know what the fuck to do. And, if these guys are all going out there, Gaethje's landing those low kicks. I just think, I think the guys that come in next to hurt the gorilla, it'll be even easier than the guys that are here to kill the gorilla. Light work. And we still got more to go. We still got one more guy that's going to scare him. So be ready for him because he's fucking terrifying. Corey Sandhagen, he'll die for sure. He'll switch stances too much, flick too many jabs. The gorilla's going to be fed up and eat him. Yeah. Then we've got Volkov. He's going to be... I think I want him to kill the gorilla. I think Volkov deserves to kill the gorilla after getting robbed in his last one by Cyril Gane. He deserves this. Go out there and win like a warrior. Okay? He deserves that. So he's going to help kill the gorilla. He can just watch and then help at the end and say he did it, He deserves it, all right? He deserves one off. He fucking beat Cyril Gane, dude. I don't know what the fuck was going on. Next, Sharabullet Magomedov. Go for the eyes. Get revenge. This is different, John Jones, he's got history. Imavov's got history. Sharabullet, he doesn't really have history of eye poking, but he's getting revenge, all right? He has one eye. It's not fair the gorilla has two. He's going for the eyes, all right? It makes too much sense. Moving on, Jailton Almeida. Dude, I want him to die, but we're going to put him in first to fight. Because I think if he can get control of the gorilla and these guys can just start teeing off on him, it's a layup from there. So I like his odds to maybe get control. So we'll send him out first, and if he dies, whatever. On to the next. So Anderson Brito, he's going to be one of the first to fight the gorilla as well. Super explosive. Again, better hope the gorilla doesn't have a wrestling or grappling threat, or he's fucked. On to the next one, Ian Gary, he's dead. What do you expect? On to the next one, Dominic Reyes, dead. Cyril Gahn, he's going to help us. He's going to help us hurt. No, he doesn't hurt opponents. He's going to be one of the first to fight. Actually, Cyril Gahn's going to be in there to help kill the gorilla. Okay, he doesn't hurt opponents. He starts off the fights quite slow, honestly. He can go in there and kill the gorilla, clean up crew. All right? If these guys aren't enough, Cyril Gahn will be. All right? Moving on, Jose Aldo. Aldo, he can be one of the first to fight as well. Go in there and land some low kicks, trying to outbox the gorilla a little bit, especially with all, these other guys help. I know Aldo's a smaller guy, but I think he'll be all right in there. Khamzat Chimaev, first to fight, of course, obvious. He gasses out in a round, maybe 2. Go in there, dude. Show us what you got. Be Khamzat throughout 5 minutes and fucking put a pace on that gorilla. On to the next one. Mateus Gamera is dead. He gets dropped in every fight. Dropped by Beneil. Come on. All right, Beneil's dead. So are you. Josh Emmett. We're going to put Josh Emmett in Hurt the Gorilla. If he lands an overhand, dude, he is sending the gorilla to the Shadow Realm. It's just a matter of if he can do it. Because it seems to be, we never know if Josh Emmett's going to be able to land that big punch. Because he couldn't find it on Ilya, but he found it on Bryce. But he couldn't find it on Lerone Murphy. It's like, when are you going to find it, dude? Couldn't find it on Cade or Calvin Kattar either. So, Emmett, we're gonna take our chances, but he might just die, all right? If that overhand doesn't land, he's dead. Michel Pereira, he's going to be one of the first to fight as well. He has less than a round of fight in him. He's got to come out there and be that Michel Pereira that we know he is, the jump around, backflip, explosive Michel Pereira. That's the only way. If not, he's dead. Moving on, Figgy, he's going to help us hurt the gorilla. We know he's got power. It translates over to 135 as well. He dropped Cheeto Vera. That's enough for me. You're going to be hurting the gorilla. Next, Diego Lopez. He's going to be first to fight. I know his cardio looked good against Volk, but it just seems like if he doesn't finish you in rounds 1 or 2, push that pace on him. So we're going to have him out there first to fight, land some shots on the gorilla, see what happens. Moving on, Gene Silva. Gene Silva's going to help us kill the gorilla, believe it or not. I think this is perfect for Gene Silva. He's a fucking beast. He's an animal. He's a warrior. He's going to fucking kill that gorilla, dude. And, yeah, I think that's a good spot for him. Even though he's a smaller guy, I think he'll be able to do it. Will die, Steve Urseg. You will die. Merab Dvalishvili. Here's my thing about Merab, all right? First to fight, we're going to put him in. And here's what you're saying. A lot of these guys in first to fight are the guys that have a round of fight in them or have power. And Merab doesn't have any of that. He's got the best cardio. He's got no power. But if we send him out there first, he's not going to gas out. Like, when all these guys end up dying or if they're hurting the gorilla and then the hurt the gorilla guys come in and then the kill the gorilla guys come in, Merab's going to be there through it all. All right? Because he's not gassing out. And he plays too smart. He's not going to die. He's going to jump around on the outside. You think he's going to engage with the gorilla? No. Unless these guys are fucking him up, then Merab will engage. But I think having him out there first to fight does no harm. Merab will push a pace on the gorilla if necessary. So yeah, that's why I'm putting him in first to fight. He'll survive the rest. The rest will gas out. He'll survive. Robert Whitaker, he'll hurt the gorilla. I could see Whitaker landing some good, kickboxing combos on the gorilla, putting some pressure on him, and yeah. Pantoja, another guy who doesn't really gas out. He's going to be first to fight. He can eat everything. He doesn't get chinned. Pantoja's going to be in there fighting the gorilla from start to finish, all right? So he's going to be out there first. We can put him out there first because he won't gas. Mauricio Ruffy, he's going to be one of the first to fight as well. No, he's going to be one to hurt the gorilla for sure. This dude's got crazy power, super unpredictable, super creative, super fun. The gorilla's not going to know what the fuck hit him, especially if he's already dazed. You got to go through fucking Pfeiffer, Buckley, Dricus, Rebels to Spain, Joe Anderson, Brito, fucking Michael Chandler, Khamzat. You got to go through all these guys, and they're all round 1 versions of them. So Be fucking scared, dude. And then you got Mauricio Ruffy coming in after. Good fucking luck. Derek Lewis, he won't die. He might die. He'll be first to fight, though. I think Lewis, he's got a round of fight in him. He can be first to fight. I think that's fair. He'll probably gas, but, who cares? It's Derek Lewis. He could land a big shot on the gorilla, stun him for a minute. Tony Ferguson, dead. Edson Barboza, he's going to be, again, one of the first to fight. Super explosive early. Thing about Edson Barboza, if the gorilla touches him, he's dead. So, Barboza, do your thing, but you're probably dying at some point. Rakic, he will hurt the gorilla. Rakic is super good, super technical. I don't think he's dumb enough to get killed by the gorilla. I think he'll go in there and hurt the gorilla. I think he'll put a pace on the gorilla. Cody No Love is dead. He has no chin. That's obvious. Yuri, I'm sorry. Yuri Prohaska is dead. Yuri's dead, dude. Yuri would get fucking demolished by a gorilla. Okay? He's dead. One low kick from the gorilla, Yuri's fucked. And he's dead. And he blocks punches with his head. Alex Pereira. He's going to help us kill the gorilla. Okay? Alex Pereira, of course, he's Alex Pereira, dude. He's fucking insane. He's got that KO power. So we'll see. We'll see if he can finish the gorilla. I think Pereira will also, if he needs to, go to a primitive headspace and fucking destroy a gorilla if he has to. He's quite primitive. So he's quite scary as well. I could see him killing a gorilla without thinking about it. Chris Barnett, he's dead. I kind of just threw him in here so he could die. Brennan Allen, dead. He's too soft. He's not good at fighting. Manel Cap, go for the eyes, brother. Go for the eyes, Manel Cap. You do this against everyone. Go for the eyes, dude. Asu Almabayev wasn't safe. Bruno Silva wasn't safe. The gorilla's not safe, all right? Chris Curtis is going to die. He's not, it's Chris Curtis. And he'd probably cry on Twitter if he lost. So he has to die. Dan Hooker. He's going to be one of the ones to hurt the gorilla, Dan Hooker. I mean, he doesn't really get chinned either. He stayed in there and ate a flush head kick off Jalen Turner. So he's going to hurt the gorilla. I have confidence in Dan Hooker hurting the gorilla, but he might break his hands, to be honest. So Tai Tuivasa, dead. Obviously. Bryce Mitchell, dead. Obviously. Bobby Green, dead. Obviously. Bo Nickel, dead. Obviously, Bo Nickel, he's a coward, and he thinks he's way better than he is. Anyway, to scare the gorilla, another fucking terrifying human being, it's Charles Woodson. This guy's hideously ugly. Looks like a mutant of some sort. The gorilla will be fucking terrified, dude. The gorilla's not going to know what the fuck is in front of him. The gorilla might quit then and there. So yeah. Oh, Sean Woodson. His name is Sean Woodson. Sean Woodson. Conor McGregor. He's gonna be first to fight. It's McGregor. He's got a round of fight in him, a round or two. Maybe he'll catch a second win in round 5. Or round 4. Was it against Diaz? I'm not sure. Yeah, McGregor's gonna be one of the first to fight. Moving on, Sean Brady, dead. Jack Della Maddalena, he's going to be in there to hurt the gorilla for sure. He's got power. JDM, he's a fucking beast. Maybe he'll KO Bilal. I don't think so. I think Bilal pushes a pace on him. But I like JDM's odds to go in there and hurt the gorilla for sure. Now, we're going to add one more because I think that's 70. And let's throw in Oliveira. And let's throw in Oliveira to one of the first to fight. I think having Oliveira go out there will really set the pace for the rest of the team here. Oliveira, I know he's got more than a round of fight in him, but he does have a tendency to quit. So I think having him go out there first instead of relying on him later is a much better strategy. So Oliveira's going to be first to fight. So yeah, a recap, Gaziev, Ngannou, Ilya, Yan, Makhachev, Aspinall, Pereira, Magomed Ankalaev, Volkov, Gane, and Gene Silva, they're going to kill the gorilla, okay? They're coming in last, okay? So they're going to stand on the outside while everyone else is fighting and wait. And when it's time, they're going to go in there and kill. People that are going to hurt the gorilla: Holloway, Pavlovich, Blachowicz, Mauricio Ruffy, Marvin Vittori, Fluffy Hernandez, Jerry Cannonier, MVP, Josh Emmett, Dan Hooker, Davison Figueiredo, Rakic, Whitaker, and JDM. They're all going to try and hurt the gorilla. The gorilla's not taking out all those guys. All right, come on. First to fight: Michael Chandler, Hamzat, McGregor, Michelle Pereira, Lopez, Pfeiffer, Buckley, Dricus, Rebels to Spain, Roman Kopylov, Justin Gaethje, Almeida, Brito, fucking Jose Aldo, Marab, Pantoja, Derek Lewis, Edson Barboza, Charles Oliveira. First to fight: go out there and set the tone, young men. Go out there and put the fucking pace on the gorilla early. You've all got a round to fight, unless you're Dricus or you're fucking Pantoja or you're Marab or you're Aldo. You guys got to go, all right? Or you're Almeida, you got to control. You guys know what you have to do, so go out there and do it, all right? Go for the eyes: Jones, Nasruddin Mavov, Shara Bullet, and Manel Cap. You know why, all right? Go for the fucking eyes. The gorilla, once it's blind, it's easy money, all right? Scare the gorilla: Raul and Sean Woodson. This might be where we win. Once these guys come out, that's why I have them going out first, all right? The gorilla sees these two, it might as well not even fight. It might just fucking run away. These two guys are so hideous. We might just win based off them. So this is a let's see what happens kind of thing, all right? If the gorilla dares to fight these two, then we send in reinforcements. But if the sheer ugliness of these two is enough, then we win. Will die. I'm not going to go through everyone because it's a lot, but, they're all dead. We all knew these guys were going to die. Maybe you think Mitchell survives. I don't hate it. Everyone else dies, you can't really see. I could see Bryce Mitchell, though. He's quite primitive. Maybe Yuri could survive, but I doubt it. I think Yuri would die pretty quickly somehow. I don't know why. But yeah, that is it. These are the guys I'm picking to kill the gorilla. Guys picking to hurt the gorilla. Guys I'm picking first to fight, to go for the eyes, to scare the gorilla, and that will die. I appreciate everyone that watched this video. I don't know why I did this. Thank you all for watching. Bye.